Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Team Sonic LTS tutorial. And today we'll be going over Grand Metro. Grand Metro is a super sick stage and it's filled with light dash cancels and other cool tech. And much of it is performed over the energy pass, which give you a bunch of extra speed, so you better buckle up. This is also one of the only stages in the run that isn't broken open by bot boost, so this guide will serve you well if you're planning on learning unrestricted. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. As soon as you land from the ramp and gain control, you want to do a light dash cancel by switching to Knuckles. Try and do it as late in the ring trail as you can, and then switch back to Sonic. You might have seen this happen to other runners before, but if you kick at certain parts of this loop, you'll be turned around and sent backwards. It normally happens if you start kicking around this point, so try and kick before it. After you clear the loop, glide across this gap and continue along the path. There is a bit of a harder strat you can do here that looks super cool if you want to try it. If your glide hits one of these red pipes, it'll give you a bunch of speed, and you can use that in conjunction with this slope path. You can glide way over this whole section. If you don't get that, you can also try a light dash cancel glide across the gap. If you struggle with the light dash cancel timing, you can always homing attack to slow down and make it a bit easier. Continue along the path and fire dunk this flapper. Then hit the checkpoint as Sonic, as we'll need this level up for later. Keep going until you reach this slope path. You want to avoid this first ramp, as hitting it loses a little under a second. I recommend holding B to do a roll around this ramp, which makes the wall collision here a little more favorable. Just spam kicks down the energy paths here. But you should watch out as these loops are also pretty likely to turn you around. I recommend testing it out yourself and finding a kicking pattern that you like, but you can always just follow the one I do here if you want. After you finish the loops, run down and hit the ramp, but make sure to hit it in the middle as you won't have control of yourself when you land, and the checkpoint is lined up right in between these two ramps. Make sure to take it as Sonic as we'll need this level too. Take these light dashes. You can also cancel this first one to save just a little bit of time. After this light dash, we're going to be met with this category's first real skip, which is clipping through this door. It only saves about 3 seconds, or 4 if you do it setup-less. It's a good amount, but nothing crazy, so feel free to skip it if you're having trouble. What you need to do is build up a double rocket accel and aim it at the corner of this door, then roll right before touching it. One tip I can give you is to have a bit of a steeper angle when aiming at the door. This seems to get you through just a bit more often. You need to make sure that the rocket accel is fully finished before you can initiate a roll. This also applies to doing mid-air kicks, so you'll need this timing down to hit this and others later. After you clip through the door, glide across the gap and kick your way down until you reach this turtle. Then punch at this spot, and you should have enough speed left over that your punch will be able to get through the cage and hit the switch, saving a little bit of time. If you haven't killed any extra enemies than shown here, then this turtle will drop a level. Hopefully it's a Sonic level, which will give you level 3. If not, then you'll have to get this level here. One neat strat you can do here is to homing attack the wall to initiate a triangle jump. Then immediately press B to get off and land much sooner. From here you can do a light dash cancel, but this one's pretty tricky, so I wouldn't recommend it if you're brand new. Homing attack this egg pun twice. If you missed a level, then just do a tornado cancel on the side of the cage here to blow off his shield and kill him normally. Glide over this ramp and land on the side of this platform. Keep going for a little bit, and do a slope jump off this ledge to get a bunch of height and skipping most of this pole. Try and homing attack it as close as you can, which will make Sonic latch on just a little bit faster. Make sure to hold up the whole time after you get off the pole. This will make you land much earlier, saving you quite a bit of time. There are 2 ways to get the speed to do the mid-air kick in this part. The first way is a light dash cancel, and the second way is a rocket accel. The light dash cancel saves about a second, but because of the way the rings are set up, this one is a lot more finicky than normal, so I'd recommend skipping it if you're new. If you fall on this gap, you can just jump on the cage and do a flight from the peak of your jump, and you can make the next section. Continue along this path and take the light dash trail. Build up a little bit of speed as the door's opening and jump. Then, homing attack the pole as you're really close to it, just like before. This section is going to have the first set of rails in the game. The rail mechanics are pretty complex in this game, so I won't get into too much detail here. Just switch between Sonic and Knuckles while holding the rail grind button when first landing to get to max speed much quicker than normal. Then just follow the path I take here. We're now in the final stretch. There's two ways you can do this part. You can either just destroy the 3 robots with Knuckles to lower the bridge and walk across, or you can do a midair kick to get across and save yourself a second. To do this midair kick, you can either get the speed from a rocket accel, or you can just run and conserve your falling speed. After you cross the gap, you're pretty much done. Just run through the car slide and down the hills, take the ramp to the goal ring. If you like this stage and like going fast, make sure to head over to twitch.tv/joeyfreefall and let him know how much better Team Sonic is than Team Rose.